Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel.
Pit lane speed
New
limit
race
is
for
45
week
miles
4.
per hour.
We are
All
back in
clear
the
on pit
rookie
exit. You can
MX-5
push now.
series here
Okay,
at
Jake,
Summit Point
we've got
Raceway.
2 laps.
And going out for qualifying. We'll try to do the best that we can, turn as quick of a time. Feel like I'm probably second and a half off, almost 2 seconds off of the fast cars for this week. It's a track that I know how to get around, but clearly do not know how to get around fast, which is the case for almost every single road course that I run. So, gonna try to stay out here, run as many laps as we can, even after the 2 qualifying laps are done. Just try to get whatever track time in that we can, and learn as much as we possibly can. Things that I'm working on this week are trying to reduce how much steering throw that I'm throwing into the corners and making sure that I slow the car down to actually use all of the available grip, the tires, rather than sliding tires around and burning off speed that way. So, car's really loose on this lap, so just trying to watch that, see if I keep this at a 0x, as well as kind of warm the tires up as best as I can so that lap 1 and lap 2 they're a little bit grippier. Just seems like it's kind of on top of the track sliding around instead, which is most likely my driving causing that, but let's try to get through, see if we can get a run off the straightaway. Kind of killed that last corner, so unfortunately we'll be really slow down the front stretch to start this first lap, but we are car 12 out of 12, so should not be very tough to beat our car number, or hopefully it won't be tough. We'll see how the start goes. It's kind of always the key, I feel like, in this series is getting through that start clean. If you can do that, then you've got a shot. Slow down a little bit too much in the corner, kind of hit it at the wrong time, but gonna try to do the best we can, put up a good first lap, and get something to build on for the second lap. Still probably a lot of corners that I could attack harder in a different way. That's just me trying to learn how to road race better. So it's all a gigantic work in progress every single race. Trying to do better as well as soon as I pick up the throttle in the corner, you know, actually getting back on it all the way out instead of doing something like that. Like I said, this is at least one that I feel like I can get around safely. A couple spots where I can run the risk of going off track and picking up incident points that way. This last corner here is one of them that I tend to have that issue on. You can see I got a little too much wheel, and it was just really sliding the front tires rather than actually turning and going forward, so killed momentum that way. See, we're second right now, but most likely incredibly slow because I went out right at the start to try to get as many laps in as I can, so I'm sure that's going to be absolutely crushed. We'll try to see if we can go faster this lap. I don't think that 121.3 for the optimal is anywhere near where we can be. I don't even think the fastest guys have been able to do that. They're right around 121.5 or so. So if I get into the 122s this race, I'll be thrilled to death with that. You can see we took that corner a little bit slower, behind a little bit, but hopefully get this back half of the lap a little bit cleaner than the first one and try to be a little bit faster. It's the spot where I screwed up the last lap, so we're going to try to roll it as best as I can. Finding that kind of taking that as a wide arc seems to be a little bit faster for me to carry momentum through. And then staying out so that you can kind of apex that one a little bit better. Still slid the tires a little too much, but let's see if we go faster than the first lap. Try to get it to the inside a little bit more. Looks like we're going to lose too much time. We'll actually probably end up being a little bit slower this lap. It should be close.
The guy ahead has just posted.
Yeah, you can see just by about 200s we were a little bit slower, so we're falling all the way back with our slow laps. Then we're going to stay out here to try to keep learning as much as we can and see if we can try to get closer. Some of these curves I've learned you can get over. The ones that are not elevated, the ones that are elevated you definitely don't want to get over at all. So yeah, I got to stay out here, hopefully get 2 more laps in. Try to see where I can pick up as much speed as possible. try to at least get close to the 122 range. This is another road course that I actually really enjoy. I think it's got a lot of good slower spots, but a lot of high-speed spots. I think, too, for me, it's a track that can teach me a lot of different driving techniques all in one lap. So if this is one that I can eventually master and feel quick, I'll feel like that skill set could transfer to a lot of them. You can see we get off the track, unfortunately pick up the incident point. That's just what I got to watch there to brake a little bit sooner. So won't harm our safety rating quite as much since it happened in qualifying. You can see that lap was definitely slower than our fastest qualifying lap, but that was also because of having that issue there out of the last corner. Don't feel like taking that one too wide is a good idea. You can see it slows you down quite a bit, so something that I made the mistake on, but have been trying to learn a little bit more. This is a corner I want to try to figure out how to attack a little bit harder, because that's one that I also typically tend to run off the course on a lot, almost like that.
That's the end of the session, P7.
And you can see we were back half of the middle of everybody that turned a lap. Not incredibly far off of the pole sitter, so it's possible with some wrecks, if we can avoid that we may be able to actually try to move our way up. I don't feel like this time was as fast as we could have run. Pretty big gap back here to the 11, so not sure how fast the 5 will be, but hopefully we should at least be able to pull away from these guys. Try to run. We'll just see how the start goes. Pull up session best lap, so that way we get that ready, get the car fired up. So the one thing I want to bring back for myself, not that it really matters that it doesn't get recorded or anywhere. I know in the past seasons I was setting 4 goals for myself each race. I want to try to bring those back. So I want to try to run the race at a 0x if at all possible. I want to try to improve my starting position, or improve from my starting position if I can. I want to try to finish at or ahead of my car number. And I want to try to get to the top 5 if at all possible. So those goals in order that I just set them from 1 to 4 is kind of my importance as well, with the safety rating right now being the most important, and then improving from starting position being the second most, and then trying to beat the car number and get to the top 5. So this one hopefully shouldn't be too hard to beat the car number, given that I am car number 12 out of 12. Hopefully we should be able to do that. Improving upon the starting position might be a little bit tougher, and the safety, we'll just see how the start goes. That always seems to be the wild card in these races. So we have the inside line, thankfully, getting into turn 1. However, you can see guys all the time, videos that I posted or other ones that guys posted in the rookies, that you can get guys throwing it 3, 4, 5 wide into the corners. They're just diving and using all the tracks. So being on the inside doesn't always mean that's the best place to be either. So just going to try to tiptoe, get our way through it as best as we can.
118 Fahrenheit.
Pick up the throttle, get ready to go.
Here we go. Floor it, green, green, green.
Always terrible at these standing starts. We're going to get a good run. 6 really slow. Looked like he had a penalty. We had to slam on the brakes to avoid him. I think that was because of him rolling early, so that's going to hurt us getting into the corner, but that's fine. Just going to let everybody get the start on the outside, and then we'll slow down. Going to watch out for everybody. Try to tiptoe. Just get ourselves through the first corner cleanly. It usually sets the tone for the rest of the race. If I can do that, we have a shot. A lot of positions were changed, a lot of guys jumping up. See, we almost downshifted too far. We've got the 5 running all over the back of us. Not giving very much room at all, so we'll watch for him to be a little impatient. And we're almost going to lose it off the track. There's our incident. So unfortunately, first goal is gone. We're going to lose a lot of spots. Just going to try to stay to the outside, make sure that we don't get at anybody. Completely my fault there. And just reset, we'll be in the back, and we're going to try to do the best we can to start picking cars off. We're not incredibly far off, and the car's not damaged, so other than the tires being warm, we should have a shot to try to work our way back up. I just got a little too aggressive and broke a little too late going into the corner, so just reset, try to follow everybody through. You can see the ones back here. Hopefully we can just kind of follow, watch him, learn what he's doing, and follow our way back up. Not the best start, but could have been worse. Back in 11th, so no matter what, right now we are farther than our car number, but got a long way to go to get back to where we want to be. You can see guys overshooting the corner. At the 8 overshoot it, we're able to get by him. Almost had the one come back down on us, so we're going to try to get to the inside of him if we can. See if we can complete that pass, get on by him, pick up another spot at least. Set our sights on the 2 to watch out for him. You can see we got the 9 having problems, the 2 almost gets into him. That was pretty close, probably a gap I should not have shot, but trying to get whatever I can as quickly as I can since there's only 10 laps. Follow the 2 through, he seems to be a little bit quicker than us. He's kind of taking that wider line that I want to do that I didn't do, so lost some time there. It's probably going to allow the 8 to close up on us. He'll have a little more momentum going down this straight. We've got a big wreck here into the last turn. We're somehow able to avoid all of that. Ton of cars wrecked back there. 2 was in that, 1 was in that. Or no, 1 got out of that, excuse me. Yeah, that... wow, that was crazy. So just like that, we end up back in 5th. Not sure how we avoided that and did not get any incident points out of that. Just going to put that behind us, try to reset and start braking correctly, which we did. We got another car off. 7's way, way, way ahead of us. Not sure without Rex if we're going to be able to get there, but we are at least in the top 5 now, so it's going to be able to check off most of the goals if we can maintain this spot. Just going to try to keep it as clean as we can. Kind of boring now that we're going to be running on our own for a little bit, but gives me a shot to just focus on marks. You can see, get the car too loose, spinning it around, able to save it, almost. And somehow lost the pedals. Not sure what just happened there, so we just lost a lot of spots out of that. We're going to fall back to 7th. No idea what just happened there. Somehow my pedals just went dead.
Okay, Jake,
looks like it
might
might be fixed. We'll see.
Now, 1.2 seconds.
It's going to put us all the way back to 7th, I believe. And we're about 4 seconds behind the 8, so we'll see if we can get back up to the 8 and 9 at all. Not really sure what happened there, but keep an eye, might be after something I look at. It's the first time I've had that in a while, so you can see we got a long gap back. 1's actually in 8th and he went into pit road, so plenty of time there. Got the 8 and the 9 battling side by side. That may lead to contact. We'll keep an eye out for that because that could be something that we could try to take advantage of and get on by. Should be able to have a good shot at finally clicking off a fast lap. Been in traffic and have been avoiding stuff, and then that lap had the issue with the puddles, so. Oh, stabbed the throttle a little too hard. Got the car sideways, trying to hold on to it. You can see we're definitely catching the 8 and the 9 as well, so looks like the top 5 is doable. We'll still have 6 laps to go next time by, so it'll give us plenty of time. So just trying to do the best that I can to get rolling. When we had the pedal issue the last lap, we were incredibly fortunate to not have the 8 or the 9 get into us, so trying to build as much momentum up down the front stretch as I can. Hopefully get a little bit of a faster lap. 123.4, so faster than qualifying. Still not where I want to be, but we're getting there. Overshot braking. So did the 8 and 9. It was just an issue of me waiting too late to brake. Follow the 8, see if I can set it up on the outside, because that could put us potentially to get him on the next corner, and he actually lets off and lets us go, so we're able to get him this corner.
Well done, Jake. Great move.
So,
keep it up.
Makes me feel a little better. We're at least moving up, getting closer to the 9 and 5th. Trying to give you guys an exciting comeback to at least find a couple spots that we should have. Trying to be a little bit smoother on the throttle out of that corner just so that I don't run into the issues. It's probably a corner there that I could take in second, but I feel like getting it down on the first gets me a little bit more acceleration through it. Just gonna follow the 2 right now. We kind of push it wide. I think I should have lifted a little bit earlier. That's gonna kill our momentum down the front here. But at least able to pull away from the 8 a little bit. Just try to reset and see if we can close up on the 9. Try to use the draft a little bit in these cars. When you're wide open for this long, the draft can definitely make a big difference. They'll probably recognize that and try to swerve and keep us from using it as well.
Place. You've just done a 123.50.
Gonna get to the outside and see if we can set up a pass on the next corner. Hang into the outside so we have him cleared. See by the relative we should have him clear, but I'm looking for him in the rearview mirror. We got him now, so we're able to complete that pass. Hopefully we can start pulling away.
Rooker is getting closer. The gap's now 0.38.
And this should put us back in 5th at least. You can see we'll check our gap at the line to the 7 who's in 4th, but I highly doubt we're going to get there. But it's just worth noting to see, if nothing else, at least if we had the pace to run with them. Trying to keep it off of the curbs through this section, but try to get as straight as I can to build the momentum up. Hopefully we're going to try to run a little bit quicker. Probably needed to slow down just a little bit more. We do get off the track there. That gives us an instant point, so
Please, Jake.
I'm going to try to keep it at a minimum. You can see at the line we were about 14.7 back, so we'll see where we end up with 4 to go. If we have the pace to hold with them or not. If I can get out of this with 2 incident points, even though it's not the 0x that I wanted, I'll feel pretty good about that. Probably overshot the corner just a little bit, but not as bad as some of them. So you can see we're picking up a little more momentum though compared to the fast lap, so I'm going to try to keep running well. Looks like we are able to pull away from the 8, so we're going to keep trying to do that so we can try to lock down 5th. Try to keep the car as clean as we can, just finish out these last few laps without any problem. Overshot that corner a little bit. That was due to not putting myself up in the previous corner where I wanted to be. Trying to pick up time through this. This race has been a good example of, in rookies or in most of the lower road classes, you don't always have to be the fastest car. If you can avoid problems, you can put yourself in a good spot to at least get, you know, a top half finish or a top 5. Overshot that corner a little bit, not too bad. You can see it looks like we're losing about 3/4 of a second or so to the 7, so got a little bit of work to do if we want to be able to hang with them. It's actually about 4/10 that time, so able to pick it up down the front stretch, but still pretty far off, so got a little bit of work to do. I know some of the sections that I messed up that corner or that lap, so I'll try to improve it. That was one of them. It's allowing us to also pull away from the 9 and the 8 if we can run faster. They're in a pretty good battle. They're almost nose to tail, so didn't quite get through that corner as well as I wanted to. Let's see if we can get through this one a little bit faster, so that way we can set ourselves up for a better entry. Got a wreck up ahead. Looks like it is lap cars involved, so unfortunately probably won't be for position. Try to get by him on the inside without disturbing our lap too much. See, right now in relation to our best lap, we're running quite a bit faster, but again, overall, I know these lap times are incredibly slow. So I got a long way to go to be able to feel comfortable about it. Try to use that curb a little bit better to kick the car around. See if we can get close to a 122.9. Still a little bit short, 123.2. See, we actually gained about 3/4 tenths on the 7, so we know we definitely have the potential to pace. Overshot that corner big time. That's going to kill everything. Thankfully, we got enough gap back to the 9. He wasn't able to capitalize on that and get to us. We got 2 to go this time, so we're just going to try to keep it clean. It's like 5th place again, barring any kind of wrecks or big mistakes by us. 5th place is where we are going to finish, so just try to keep it headed in the right direction. See if the next lap I can post my fastest of the race. Nothing else, it's just a learning experience to try to hit corners consistently as well as do some of the driving techniques as I explained at the beginning. Got the car a little loose coming out of the corner, got to watch that. Swing it back to the outside. This is the corner that I feel is probably one of the most important in the course because it sets you up for all your momentum down the front stretch, and the front stretch is so long that if you screw it up like this, you're going to lose so much time. So, did not hit that very well. See, we gained
white flag.
ran about even, so it looks like there might be a problem with the 7. Might have overshot it like we did. To make sure that we don't overshoot this corner, even if we end up actually a little bit slower than we wanted to. Definitely had to have had a problem with the 7. He's fallen off quite a bit, so looks like we're catching him at a pretty quick weight, and we got a caution flag out, which I'm guessing is for him. So we're going to watch and see what the problem is and see if that's something we can catch up to, because now it's only 5 seconds or so. So if he's damaged and limping it, we might have a shot to try to get by him and get to 4th. You can see you got 2 cars damaged up front. I overshot that corner a little bit, but able to save it. Trying to get to both of them, see if we can try to get any spots out of this. See, the 4's got a damaged wheel. We're going to get to his inside. There's 1 position. Don't think we're going to be able to get to the 3, who was originally the leader and now is going to fall back to 3rd. But we're going to try to see if we can get there. Not sure what happened between the 4 and the 3. But that allows us to at least pick up a spot and bring it home in 4th instead of 3rd, or instead of 5th. So, pushed it wide. Off track again, fitting for how we'd been driving, but I'll take a 3x compared to what it had been typically. So, glad to have kept it reasonably clean and able to bring it home in 4th place.
Okay, that's
so,
the finish. Well done,
checked
mate.
off all but one of the goals. Unfortunately, you know, the safety rating was the one that was most important to me, but for where I typically am, a 3x is a lot better than what I typically do. And we were able to avoid quite a bit on the start, and not really have it affect us too much. So, let's jump out. Let's take a look at what happened between the 4 and the 3 right at the end. Alright, so we can see the 4 coming in. He's trying to run to the outside. The 10's going to come in here and get involved. I believe he was a lap down at this point. So you can see he makes contact with the 4. I'm wondering if... And here we go. We're going to watch too wide into this spot. 4 is going to bail, but he just makes contact with the 3 and sends them both around. They both get spun out there. And then there comes more contact, so let's see what happened there. That was an interesting spot. That was the 4 of the 3. Actually, didn't seem to have too much out of that, so let's take a look and see what happens to the 4 here. He just kind of stuck his nose here, overshot it, and, you know, didn't have it slowed down enough, makes contact with the 3, sends the 3 around. The 10 does a really good job avoiding the 3 to the outside. So 4 is going to come back in. He's just going to come right across the track. Get contact. That's what happened there. You can see a couple lap cars make contact with him, and that sends him further to the back when he's got the right front wheel damage, and that's what he was just trying to limp it home. That's what allowed us to be able to close up and get on by him. So you can see with that right front, he cannot turn to the left at all. So 3's going to get back by him. And then you're going to see us come in here and come by the inside as well. Yep, there we go. So that's what happened. That was pretty crazy. Finish right there. Let's go check the results, see how we did. Everything should be posted. Yep, so stronger strength of field for me, 14, 15, still fairly weak overall. You can see we were 4th out of 13, so slowly working our way back up to top split. I don't typically run when the fields are the strongest though, so a long way to go. You can see we were about 6/10 or so off the fast lap overall. Maybe we might have a shot to close it down and only be, 3 or 4 tenths, but it still is going to take a ton of work for me. Able to bump up over 3.0, able to gain 0.02, and then get the extra 0.4 bump, so it gets us up to 3.35. So hopefully in a few races next week or so, we can try to get that up over 4.0 and get bumped up to the C license and open up another class or two that we could series we could run, possibly able to gain 43 in iRating, so we get up to 1420. Finally working my way up above the 1350, trying to shoot to get to like a 2000 or 2500 if I can. Got a long way to go. For me, it's more about trying to learn the driving techniques and trying to compete, lap time wise with a lot of people and get as quick as I can. So long way to go, but trying to learn. Hopefully, this race at least showed you a little bit of improvement for me. And as I start to learn some stuff, I'll definitely share that with you guys, whatever I learn. Or again, you guys can always leave feedback for what you do. This is, by far the thing I know the least about compared to pavement oval or even dirt oval. So any feedback is always welcome. I always listen to it and try to implement as much as I can. So love to hear from you guys. Otherwise, remember to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. And until next time, hopefully all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.